have so many exciting things to share with you. We're gonna have a super productive day. So I decided to go for these really colorful, happy, vibrant, like pumpkins. That way, when you unfold it, you have this pattern. I decided to make notebooks for my Christmas pop-up in the greenhouse, and I wanted to design a box for them. It can feel really important to be productive, and productive can be a lot of different things. Hi friends, and welcome to another very cozy studio vlog. It is so rainy outside. This is going to be a day in the life kind of studio vlog. It was actually meant to be a week, and I did film a few bits throughout the week. But it got super busy. Our son has been up for hours every single night, and I just have not had the energy to pick up the camera. But I have so many exciting things to share with you, and I also have a really good feeling about today. We're gonna have a super productive day. I have kind of my core list of things I need to do and then an extra ambitious list. If you're new here, my name's Malin, and I actually run a few little different businesses. So the one that I mostly showcase here is a illustration business where I make stationery products and handmade stationery. But I also run a graphic design business where I help clients with branding and things like that. And I also have another YouTube channel, which is a creative community for designers. So today we're actually going to be working on bits for all of these different ones. One of the really exciting things that happened this week was that I held a course in surface pattern design. And it was so much fun. I got to meet so many people who just love doing anything creative. And it was an evening course for a few hours, and I talked about surface pattern design. And I thought I would actually share with you in this video as well how you can create seamless patterns. Even if you're not working with like a software, you can do it even just on piece of paper with a super easy folding technique. And this was something that was such an eye-opener for a lot of people at the course, so I thought I'm going to share it with you as well. On our super ambitious list today, we have a few different things. First, we got a new branding project, so I need to set up the home base for that project, so I use Trello for that. I need to send out an invoice and a design agreement. And then I also have a sponsored video for my other YouTube channel where I need to send out the invoice for that. And then we can get to designing, and something really special is happening. I'm creating a pop-up in my greenhouse for the Christmas season. And if you were here last week, I talked a little bit about this. But this week that has passed, I've actually been setting up everything, getting it ready. So I've been taking out the different plants and I've been getting it ready and painting inside and things. So I actually was painting in the evening really late one day because it was so nice and warm outside, and I just put on like a nice studio vlog. I had cozy candles and everything. So we're starting to get everything ready for the bases. But it is only the end of September, so I still have a lot of time. So what I'm focusing on now is getting all of the different designs ready so that I can start producing and printing everything and putting it together. And then we need to create a marketing strategy for it as well. So I wanted to show you two products that I've been working on today. So the first one is the wall calendar that I'm going to be making, and I've been working on the one for October. So I want to be finalizing that one a little bit today and do a little test print so we can see the colors and the sizing and things. And the last thing I want to show you is the gift tags that I've been working on. So I've sketched up one design, and I want to do a little test print to see what size we want to make them before I actually go ahead and create the other 5 designs in that series. So we have a lot on our agenda today. So let's start by diving into doing some of the admin bits so we can get it all out of the way, and then we can get designing after that. I don't know if you're the same, but whenever I'm working on like a lot of admin tasks that I don't have to do a lot of creative thinking for, I always want to listen to a podcast or like a nice playlist. And recently I've been starting the second book from the Avatar series. So I'm really excited to actually put that on and just like start having a really nice calm start to the day with a little bit of admin. So I was actually supposed to have a really quick meeting this afternoon as well, but the person has just cancelled. So that has given me a little bit more time. So what I think I'm going to do is I actually have a script for a video that is going out in a few weeks. And I think I'm actually going to try to record that as well. That is definitely kind of pushing it. So I'll put it on the last spot on my to-do list. But we're going to see. We're going to try to see it as a little bit of a fun challenge to see if we can record that video as well, now that we have a bit more time. All of the admin stuff is done. It took me about 45 minutes. So now we can actually start looking at all of the really fun creative stuff for the different products. So before we start drawing, I thought I would share this super easy like folding technique if you want to start drawing surface pattern design that is a seamless pattern. There's a lot of different like cutting techniques and things, but I learned this one from someone called Paulina Ushu that has a YouTube channel. It's amazing, and I'll link it down below as well. But basically what I do is I take a piece of paper, just like a square piece of paper. I start by drawing out the bigger elements, so the things that I'm going to have as like my main focus. I then fill it in with smaller items, starting in the middle, and then to get this actual design to repeat, because we want to have the elements that are on this side, when they're being cut off here, we want them to come back on this side. So how do we do that? Well, there's a really easy technique, which means you just turn your paper over, you fold it, and then you have the two sides together, which is just like such an easy way to do it. And then you draw across. So that's what you've seen that I've done here. See if that can be a little bit more clear. And then you do it the other way around as well. So you get the top and the bottom as well. So that way, when you unfold it, you have this pattern that when you actually place it, if I would have a tile right like this one, put it right next to it, they would actually be repeating and it would become a seamless pattern. I actually design my seamless patterns mostly in Adobe Illustrator because they have this really nice function where you can just select all the different elements. You can choose Object, Pattern, Make, and then you can get a live view for how to actually create your pattern and how it's going to be looking. And you can start making tweaks by moving things around, changing color, doing things like that. And so that's what I really enjoy about it, because it's such a direct way to see what things are working and what things aren't. And you can also play around with the layout. So if you want to have it as a grid layout or like a brick by brick, for example. That's how I designed the surface pattern design for the bag, for example, that I sold on the market that I was at last time. And I'm also uploading that to Etsy because I have 3 left, only 3. So I'm really excited to add them as well. But now we can get into drawing. So this is the design that I've been working on for the October part of the wall calendar. And I was really thinking about what to do for the motifs, because a lot of designers do plain, like almost botanical drawings that are more supposed to be accurate. And then some people do these really elaborate scenes. And I really wanted to do something that is my style, which is kind of in between. So I decided to go for these really colorful, happy, vibrant, like pumpkins. And then I've also got like a little bit of a magical kind of element with this little character here in the flower. I think it strikes a nice balance. You don't see it right away and it just feels really happy. I think I'm gonna keep the background white because that will make it more consistent between the different pages, the different months. And what I thought was I wanted it to be quite symmetrical. So I actually created like a little layout sketch for myself, where I've done like different layouts for each month. So like January, February, March, and so forth. And I want them all to be like a little bit different from each other. I also drew some elements that I could incorporate. So just like brainstorming and getting some ideas down. So what I was thinking was that if we go back to this print and we export this one and we can give this a try to see how the colors turn out. I think that would be a really nice thing to give a try, and it will make me feel a lot more on top of everything. So let's give this a try. These colors are the same ones that I used for my planner pad with pumpkins. That one looks like this, and those colors turned out really nice. So it should, in theory, work well, but you never know. So let's give it a little test print. I'm actually like a tiny bit nervous about printing because my son has found out recently that these drawers open and he's been putting things in them, which he finds to be absolutely lovely and I find to be slightly terrifying because I'm so scared something's gonna get stuck. Okay, so we have it. Let's have a look together. Instinctively, I can already tell I really like the colors. I think this is way too big. So, I mean, I guess as an art print, it does work really well, but I'm just thinking that maybe you'd want it to be a little bit smaller. I do really like that it's nice and like taking up the page in a way as an art print, but maybe you just want it to be a little bit more subtle for a wall calendar. So I'll give it a little think. This is the one that I have, which is from Amber Davenport, and it's absolutely beautiful. But you can see how like she's put the location, so like the name of the print kind of. And you do have a lot more space around like the art print itself. Because when you have the calendar at the bottom, which is the way that I think I'm going to be doing it, because it allows you to have like a full art print like this, I think that actually does look better with a little bit of a border. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you would be doing. Because the design came out really nice, and I actually have these like little cute decorative pumpkins that I was going to use for photographing some of the new products anyway. I think I'm going to make a reel where I like reveal the design of the October wall calendar one. So let's do that. So I've had lunch and I also printed. So I haven't actually finished like coloring this design because I want to check what size and proportions we wanted before I actually finalize anything. This is going to be for gift tags, and what I want to do is have like a little hole at the top that I make with this thing, and then I'm going to put this like really nice white and red like a ribbon that goes in it, and I have to figure out which size I like. Instinctively I think this one is going to be the best. I want a balance between it feeling like you're really getting something. Like I think this one feels a bit too small. You're going to miss a lot of the details in the artwork. But this one might feel a little bit too big. So I'm going to cut these out. I'm going to use the corner rounder to make them all nice. We're going to cut a hole and we're going to see what we think. Like maybe using a present to kind of wrap it up and see what it looks like. I always try to make sure I have as little waste as possible. So I've made sure that these dimensions are like picked because they're gonna fit as many as possible on a sheet. Let's get a little present and give it a try. So this is like a nice little medium-sized gift. You can see my like hand for reference. And so it would either be this size, the medium one, or the small one. I definitely think the small is too small, so I think we can put that one away. I am kind of torn between these two because this does feel a bit big, doesn't it? Especially if you got a smaller present. Because at the back you'd want to be able to write the details, but I feel like you'd be able to do that on this one as well. Let's try to put a tag in and see what it looks like. So I've got this really cute thread. It's like a kind of candy cane design. I'm gonna see if I can get it to be visible. So what I'm gonna do is I want people to be able to take this off if they want to switch for their own. Like some people might have like a more neutral color palette or something. So I'm just gonna fold it in half and then I'm gonna put it through the hole here, starting at the front. And then I'm going to put it through that little hole that we have there and then just pull. And that creates this really nice little design there where we have it like this. I'm gonna leave the ends open because that way someone can tie it to the present itself. But I actually think this is the winner. I also have something else I want to show you because I've got so many different moving parts in the business and so many different, like got the YouTube channels and the design work and stuff. I like to be able to like do as many things that overlap as possible. So I decided to make notebooks for my Christmas pop-up in the greenhouse. And I wanted to have these like really cute A6 notebooks that I'm going to be binding myself. It's going to be super cute. And I wanted to design a box for them. And for my other YouTube channel, I'm doing a how to make design packaging tutorial. And so I thought I'm just going to make that into one collaboration between me and me. So I actually just did a test of what the box is going to look like. And I think it works so well. So this is going to be a box that you can actually just fold together. So you can just pop the little wings in like this. And then I could seal it either with a sticker, or I can have like a nice ribbon, for example. But that way I can actually fit like the notebooks, and I used like just one of my cards as a reference for size. So it does have a little bit of extra spacing in there. But I think this is so cute. You can just fold it up to put the different notebooks in here. It can be like a little gift set. So I think this will be super duper cute. Obviously this will be printed, and right now it's just like a little prototype. But again, it's good to give it a try and test it out just to make sure that the dimensions and everything are going to be right. And I also wanted to check that this paper was going to be thick enough, which I think works really well actually. So we've been making such good time. It's about an hour left until I have to wrap everything up and go and pick up my son. I could definitely go and push and like film the video that I wanted to film, but it typically takes me around an hour, and I kind of feel like I want to plan a bit for next week and do all these different things. We got so much done today. We got a yes also from the sponsor for the other channel, and they've approved the script and paid the invoice, so everything is set up. And all the other admin and drawing and everything is all finished. So I think what I'm gonna do, instead of trying to push myself so hard that I'm gonna be filming this video today, because it's not going out for another 3 weeks, I can actually just take this afternoon to just like clean up a bit in the office, do a bit more drawing. Maybe I'll start another one of the months for the wall calendar, and just like kind of relax before I have my wonderful 4-year-old take up all of my attention and energy, and yeah, just having lots of fun and playing and stuff. So maybe just like recharging a bit. And I think it's just really important to feel your boundaries with this, because it can feel really important to be productive, and productive can be a lot of different things. Like in my case, being productive usually means that I have to portion out my energy so that I make sure that tomorrow is also going to work well. Because if I just push today, then maybe tomorrow I will be too tired. So try to feel it out. And I just wanted to say such a huge thank you for coming along for this day. It was so busy and we got so much nice things done. And I can't wait to be sharing like all of the items in the collection with you. We're going to be making lots of things next week. We're also going to be planning out more with the greenhouse pop-up and how that's going to be. I want to start doing the marketing strategy and also drawing, like taking pictures of the greenhouse and drawing out how I can actually set up the shelves and stuff. My voice is kind of going, so I'm just going to say thank you so much for this week, and I'll see you next week. So thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye bye.